Sorry for the late night video guys, but we need to work while this is still fresh. Throughout the evening, I've received reports from students across the country complaining about serious mismanagement and organization issues with CLAT 2018. If you're someone who has not had issues during your test, congrats for being lucky. If you have faced issues during your exam and are one of the victims of this fiasco, please watch ahead. Just to put things in perspective guys, you're one of the 59,900 students who wrote the exam who paid rupees 4,000 to write this exam. That means Noval's Kochi has made a whopping 23 crores from this exam alone. As an educationist in this field of online exams, I can tell you that it costs a tiny fraction of this amount to conduct an online exam without any glitches. So any kinds of errors are not justified by CLAT, let alone issues of this extent. This is exactly what I was talking about yesterday. I disagree that you can feel entitled to not have the interface changed and the colors and shapes of buttons changed, but there are things that you can feel entitled to, and conducting the exam in a fair manner is the most important of them. You have all the rights to demand this. The main issues that are being pointed out by hundreds of students across the country are: 1. Delay of questions, that is the paper did not open at 3 p.m. Many students are saying that the questions only opened at 3:05 or 3:10, causing a lot of delay. Missing or encrypted questions or answers in the question paper, where questions were missing or answers were missing, the options were missing. Then the system kept hanging up multiple times or shutting down, or the screen was freezing during the exam, all while the timer was counting down. Then you have bad infrastructure where there is lack of tables, chairs, the lack of an AC, fan, no water was provided in the summer, etc. Then there's corrupt hardware where mouse did not work, the monitor was malfunctioning, and in many cases the students were asked to sit on whatever computers they could find, and they were not allotted computers specifically, and in many cases two students got the same computer, in which case there was a lot of confusion. Then some of the most important issues were staff related issues where the staff was untrained or unhelpful. In some cases they were downright rude and offensive, and they themselves caused delays by not opening the demo test on time, and so on and so forth. Then finally, the most serious allegation so far is that in many centers across the country, students were allowed to talk and discuss the questions amongst themselves, and the invigilators did not do their jobs. So guys, these are all very serious allegations against any exam, let alone the National Law Entrance Test, which is supposed to pave way for law. As you might know, the exam has been marred with controversy year after year after year. So it is easy to feel like nothing can be done and feeling like giving up. But we need to try to see if something can be done at least this time. This edition has suffered an unprecedented level of mismanagement and thus is definitely the worst edition in the history of the common law admission tests. So what can we do now? We need to raise attention to this matter. We need to bring this to the attention of the press and the media and the politicians. First, I need you to fill up the form in the description below, giving us some details of the issues you faced. I know for a fact that Noval's Kochi Vice Chancellor is trying to brush off this issue, saying that the issues were faced only at 10 centers across the country and so on, but we need to prove her wrong. Second, join me on Twitter and continue the campaign with your complaints, followed by hashtag CLAT 2018, and tag all the prominent media portals and politicians. All these tags and the names that you can use are all provided to you in the description of this video. Just copy paste them on Twitter and join me there. Third, if you have any relatives or family friends in the media, please reach out to them and ask them to cover this issue. I will be happy to give out a statement, and I can speak about not only CLAT 2018 but all the CLATs that were ever conducted and how they were mismanaged. Now, as someone who's been in this field for the last 5 years, I don't want to give you false hope, because this is not the first time that CLAT has screwed up, and many students and parents and lawyers have tried to fight against the same. Generally, students demand a retest, and this is a valid demand considering this year's goof-ups. The more important demand is to constitute a permanent CLAT body that will be responsible to conduct the CLAT every year, so that it is not under a different university every year and no one knows who's responsible for what, and it is completely not transparent. So people have fought before, but nothing meaningful has come out of it. Not until now, at least. It is easy to feel like there's no use in fighting this, but that is not how a future lawyer is supposed to think. It might be a difficult journey, but I believe that it is worth a shot. I made a promise to you that Law School 101 will fight for you if and when the time comes, and this is us keeping our promise. We're right here with you and we ask you not to lose hope. Let us wage this war and see what comes out of this. I don't claim to know what will happen, but I can promise you that I will personally fight for you guys. So go up and fill up the form and join me on Twitter. I will be waiting.